Okay, so now I want to build the relationship. So let's go here and find the translation model. Here I want to build the relationship between translation and language. So public function language, and then return this, and this would be the one-to-one relationship. So I'm going to mention here as one my primary key is stored inside the table which I want to get, so this would be the belongs to, and this would be the language, and then class. So I don't need to mention other things because Laravel will understand by default. Okay, and here in the welcome plate I want to first check it's that relationship exists, then I want to apply the I want to fetch its name. Why? Let me first type this. I want to collect the language, then its name. I don't do this directly. Why? Because if some language don't if in this case it's already always have a language, but in some case you don't have any language, so it will throw an exception that you call this name on null because this language doesn't exist. So if you call this language this name on language which is null, so it will throw null exception. So how you can avoid this exception? So first to check that if this translation language exists, then I want to call this translation language name. If it doesn't exist, show this only empty, right? Otherwise this will escape the exception. So let's get refresh, and yes, we are getting the Urdu. I want to display its first letter upper, so just to cut this out and type UC first, uppercase first. Okay, let's do it here, refresh, and yes, we are getting the Urdu first. If I type this EN English, and yes, English item 1, item description, and so on things, right? Also do this for the Arabic. Let's get refresh, getting the Arabic and translating it easily, right? You can also do this for the French, maybe again French, and then this would be in the French format, right? Name, description, and language. I think everything is ready. If I click on this, same on the page, and if I choose this, so French, even I can translate them from here, English, French, right? So now you have option to change the language from this drop down. If you have all of the language, so you can pass this to the drop down. So we have this drop down inside this welcome, so I'm going to load all of the language here, but if you have differently, so you can add them with their desired thing and as place. I'm going to get to first load with, because I have any model, I have any relation? No, I don't have any relation, so I'm going to load this without with. If you have defined the relationship inside the model, so always define with, so it will eager load the records. So just go here, I want to count here language, language greater than 0, then display, otherwise don't do anything. For each loop, language as language, then paste it out here, then this will be the language code. Okay, this will be the, remove this one because this will automatically loop through this one, and this will be the language name, and I also want to make this uppercase, UC first, and in the UC first I want to display the language name, right? Save this one, let's get refresh. Undefined variable language. Okay, let me add this. Let's get refresh. You see first. Oh my god, why I'm doing syntax mistake, typo mistake, not the syntax mistake. Okay, now it's loading this all of the language. If I click on this Urdu, so Urdu is there. If I click on this Arabic is there. Click on this English, yes, English is there. So in this way you can translate your content into the multiple language, right? Hope this series is helpful for you. And I have one thing, so please bear me for a few moments. So I'm going to now set this locale at the runtime. But if I'm not setting this locale, how it's executing this locale? I don't have any locale. Yeah, because I'm shooting this shooting the only database translation. So here I need to also item 1 translation in the French, in the Arabic, and so on things. So let's go here and copy this here. So just go here, this one will be replaced with this one. So now this one would be the message. So welcome to the Laravel translation by career development. That if I choose is French, so it's still same. So how we can change this locale, right? Because I have turned this off. If I set this out, so now this will change this out, right? This one is changing this out. If I choose this Urdu, so Urdu doesn't exist in the locale, so that's why it's not working. If I choose this English, English worked. French, French also works. French is working fine. So how we can set this globally? Why I want to set this globally? Because I want to show you a scenario. For example, in this case you have this view which contain where you can write logic here, or you can add this into your controller. But what if where you don't have any option to add the logic, like route? Here I am going to use a view helper where I need to specify the about and then the blade name here, about us, to remove the confusion. Okay, this one would be about us, and I'm going to create a new blade here, about us dot blade dot php. So this would be about us. Okay, so now let's save this one and give it a refresh. So here I can set this locale, right? If I choose copy this locale, just go here in the about page, yeah, just fine. Okay, I have added this key. Let me add this in the h1, maybe it's read it. Okay, I have added this h1, right? If I go here on the about, let me go to the about page. So it says welcome to the translation by career development lab. So here now I'm going to add language equal fr. So it's still same, right? How I can change this out, because I don't have any option to write any logic here, right? I don't have any controller, I don't have any this closure. I have only view and URL. So how? So then I need the global setting this locale as global. I don't need to set this into the specific route. So just cut this out from here. Go to your service provider, right? Here app service provider, app providers, and here we have app service provider or service provider, and we have multiple one, and even you can create your own service provider, right? So let me save this. Here you can create your own service provider if you want to create this. So just type this php artisan make provider and test provider, something like this. So you can create your own service provider, and yes, it's created one, right? I don't want to use this one. I'm going to add this logic into the app service provider. So most of the developers are adding this one, and even Laravel itself is adding whenever the Laravel is explaining something, so they are adding in the app service provider. So here we can add our logic. So just paste what you copied from there. And now your query is that we don't have any request to this variable. How we can get this? Don't worry, we have a global request variable. So just type this request something like this function, and then this will be available, so you can get all of the requests. And here this will now work, but I want to set this if my language isn't set, like in this case I don't have any language select added here, so I want to reload this into the English. I will show you in a minute, right? And here on this line I am adding this app set locale. So you can also, we are using the facade, you can use helper to set this out. So simply say that app set locale, something like this, and this will be the language, right? So it's the same, right? It's same, but we are using the helper and not using the class, so it's a little bit faster than the first one, right? Faster, why? Because we don't need to load the full class, we are just loading it, so using the this its object. Okay, now we have this language, and if I go here and get refresh, and yes, it's now translated into the French. If I choose this en, boom, it's translated here too, right? Where we don't have any option to write the logic. So that's why I'm here showing you how you can set this locale as globally. And if I choose this out here, so I have this one. If I choose this French, we are able to translate this out. If I remove this one, like this one, and I don't want to, why it's redirecting me on this web page? I think it's cached, that's why it's doing like this. Okay, I'm now doing this like this. Okay, just remove this language selection part. Oh my god, why it's redirecting me here? If I will not just select the language, so what it will do? What the hell? Let me choose any of the other browser, it's redirecting me always there. So here I'm going to choose our translation app.test. Okay, so this will load my default welcome page. Translation, okay, anything wrong? Translation app.test, translation, no, it's fine. Redirected you too many times, so it's mean that it's this one is redirecting me. So let's close this one. Maybe it's throwing this using this one. Oh, returning back, unable to find that language, right? Okay, fine, I got this. And you can also show the 404 message, right? Here 404 not found, something like this. So then this will not redirect you back. So let's get refresh, and yes, it's getting, we are getting the 404. Why? Because we haven't added here language, right? If I turn this off thing, you can catch this exception, but I'm commenting this to show you that what I want to highlight. So here now it says that language ID doesn't exist. So you can also say that if this language isn't, you can say that language ID. Okay, and then let me check the video size. Oh my god, it's still going bigger. I think I need to shoot the link, shoot the other stuff there. If we have a language, I want to collect its language, want to collect its ID. If we don't have any language, I don't want to collect its ID. So here I'm just passing this dummy ID, empty stuff. So refresh, and yes, there's no record found, right? So I'm pausing this video and then starting a new video. I don't want to mess up things. I don't want to make this too longer video. So thank you for watching. I will meet you in the next one. Bye bye.